Okay, hi Jada. How are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you feeling since our last session?
I feel pretty good.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so today, one of the things I wanted to try and work on during our last session, I know you talked a little bit about um, things that are causing you anxiety. One being your fear of dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how has that been going as of lately?
I think I've noticed it a little bit when running into dogs or when seeing friends that have dogs. But since it is something that I have vocalized, I feel like I could talk about it.
Okay, well that's good. Um, what age would you say you realized that this was going on?
Probably around when I was younger. Family had dogs and family friends had dogs, so I was around them a lot.
Did you have any type of negative experience with them?
I don't think personally. I think the people around me did, so that's when I really started, or that's when the fear really started.
Okay. And what generally happens when you do have an interaction with the dog?
I think just high anxiety, maybe a little bit of panic, and just not really knowing how to react.
Okay. And is there a specific reason why you want to address it? Like, are you looking to?
I think I'm looking to resolve it and be more comfortable around dogs, especially because it's so common to run into dogs, and especially if you're outside or you're around friends that have dogs, things like that.
Okay, gotcha. So today, one of the things I want to try to do with you is work on what's called a hierarchy. This is a method that we use that assists with desensitization. And in terms of desensitization, that's just helping you be exposed to more situations with your fear of dogs. That doesn't necessarily have to mean physically being present with the fear, but more so just even talking about these kinds of situations to see, where your anxiety is coming from, getting to the root of things, and maybe, discussing some ways to combat that anxiety or work through those feelings. So for starters, you've already gone ahead and verbalized your problem, which is your fear of dogs. Something else that this hierarchy can do is also help you analyze specific behaviors that cause your anxiety. So it may be that when we get to the exercise, you realize that maybe it's not necessarily dogs that you're afraid of entirely, but something that either the dogs are doing or maybe the people around you are doing, or something of that sort. And hopefully the experience will be just a bit therapeutic for you to get it out and talk about it and work through it. So what we're going to start off by doing is making a list of some situations where you come into contact with this fear. So, what would be the worst experience that you feel where you would be at your highest peak of anxiety?
Probably physically being like bitten by a dog.
Bitten by a dog. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put that as a number 10 for being the most anxiety provoking experience. And what are some other ones you could think of?
Maybe running past a dog.
Running past, okay.
And I think that's either whether it's in a yard or happens to be on a leash or anything.
Okay. Any more like in terms of, let's try to break it down a little bit more. So you said running past a dog, or walking past. You said on a leash or not on a leash?
Yes, I think on a leash, I feel a little bit more secure because somebody has control over their dog. But I think off of a leash, like even walking past a fence, sometimes dogs are big and they seem like they could jump over them, and the barking a lot is I don't want to say triggering, but it is intimidating.
Okay, so you've identified just seeing a dog off a leash or seeing them on a leash, and you're also saying barking, so like a dog barking at you as well.
Yeah.
So being barked at. Have you ever had any experiences where you were able to sit around a dog, or you were in a room with another dog?
Yes, I think small dogs usually
Are more comforting?
Yeah, more comforting.
So seeing a larger dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think a larger dog's ability to like jump on you and be a little more close to your height.
Okay. Larger dogs jumping. And how do you feel about when you are in a space with a dog?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned jumping, so does it bother you if the dog touches you? Is that something?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay. So touching you as in if the dog's like...
Yeah, I think without me being like accepting or ready for that.
Okay.
Mm.
What about being licked? Or like the sniffing? Does that...
I don't like licking, I don't
Not
think.
licking.
The sniffing is okay, I
Okay, so sniffing is
Is-
not so bad.
think. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Any more that you can think of?
I'm not sure.
Maybe like so if a dog was to lick you, what would you do?
I think probably just be startled. Because like I don't know if the dog is going to lick me or if maybe it's going to bite me or something.
Okay.
So I think that would be pretty startling. So I might like jump back or move or react quickly.
Okay.
Where I know sometimes pets don't like that and they don't react very well to somebody else being scared. Also freaks them out.
Right, so they might like chase you or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. That's something that you're
Yeah, being chased by a dog.
okay. Alright, let's try to maybe put them in order then. So we said that being bitten would probably be your most fearful. So we'll leave that at number 10. Out of our list we have, I'll let you look at it so you can see. We have being chased. What would you think be the most one right underneath that? Being chased, being licked.
I'd probably say being chased.
Being chased.
Alright.
A dog off of a leash. How do you feel?
I could put that next.
Over being barked at or being licked?
I don't know about over being licked. I'd probably put licked first and then off the leash.
Licked as being number 8? Okay. What is it about the licking that you don't like?
I don't know. I think I said it like being touched by a dog or a dog licking me without like me being ready for that or without me putting my hand out or something or knowing it's safe to do that
Okay,
is a problem for me.
gotcha. Okay, so being able to assess the situation first. And being you inviting the dog in as opposed to the dog. Okay. And then you said, so before being licked, it would be being barked at. Okay. And then being jumped on. Does that fall before being barked or?
I guess it depends on the setting. I think I would put being being jumped on before being barked.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
We can swap them.
Okay.
Alright, and then we have a dog being off of a leash. First being on a leash.
Yeah, so I would put that one next. And then I would put being on a leash. So I think I would put being off of a leash at 5.
Okay. So it's just seeing a dog off of a leash. Okay. running past a dog
Mm,
on a leash. We have being sniffed, and then being around a small dog.
I would put running past the dog on a leash.
Here?
Yes.
Okay. Being sniffed. Oh, and then petting. Sorry, I forgot to do that.
Put petting next and then being sniffed.
Being sniffed. And then small dogs would be first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, we can go through the list. So we have for number 1, the least anxiety provoking is being sniffed by a dog. I'm sorry, is being around a small dog.
Mm-hmm.
So small dogs seem to be the least of your worries.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they sniff you, lick you, you're not as exposed. Okay. So it seems then more that the fear is coming from dogs that are much larger.
Yes.
Okay. The second is being sniffed. So that could be by obviously a large dog we're getting at here.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have you petting one. Running past a dog on a leash. A dog being off of a leash. Being barked at. Being jumped on. Being licked. Being chased. And being bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so now that we've kind of got your list together, are there any things that you've done to intervene in any situations where maybe some of these things that have happened? Like, what do you normally?
I think I normally try to assess the situation first. Like I said, like with any dogs that I have to go near that are like going to be at a family event that I'm at or going to be around me with friends, assess the situation, make sure it's a nice dog type of thing. Make sure the dog, like the owner brings the dog to me, or I get used to the dog maybe with the owner first.
Okay.
Or if it's a situation like where I can't do that, then I try to distance myself a little bit.
Okay, so it sounds like you said you like to try to assess the situation first to check to see if you're comfortable. You like to communicate with the owner, and which is really great, I think, for you to verbalize to other people, especially to let them know, it's not just for your safety, but also for the dog's safety. That this is a fear that you have, trying to work through it. And then you said that if you feel that you're uncomfortable, you like to create distance. So proximity is very important. I think those are 3 really good ways to start. I think that, the communication part of it is probably the most important, and then just, checking in with yourself throughout the experience. But it sounds to me like you have a good foundation here. How do you feel about the exercise? How do you feel after making the list?
I think I really like the exercise. I think it helped me understand what situations might be most triggering for me, where I have to be really aware of how I feel in my surroundings and things like that.
Do you feel like you have any better understanding of like what is actually causing your anxiety? Is there anything you notice more during the exercise?
I think mainly like larger dogs are my fear, or when I don't have the control to assess the situation first, I don't feel very comfortable.
Okay, right. So not being able to be prepared. Okay, perfect. Well, I think that went pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
Alright, so we will maybe try to work through the list, and you can let me know how things go with your experience over the next session. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank
Sounds
you
good.
very much.
Yeah.